Matt, do you have questions for Coach? You will. We'll follow up. All right, and then we'll jump back in the line. So go ahead, Coach. Appreciate your time. We can go ahead and start with an opening statement, then we'll open up for questions.
Well, I'm gonna compare this one to a round of golf or a hole in golf. When you hit your tee ball really far left and you're in the rough, you're behind a tree, you punch it out because you have no other choice. You hit your third into the par 4 and you miss the green, and then you chip it in to make your par. But the only thing I know is you put a par on that scorecard, and nobody's drawing pictures. And I told our team, I drew a big T on the whiteboard, and I put a W in one column and an L in the other. And then I put a mark under the W. That's what tonight was. We escaped in a very ugly fashion. Give Nebraska a ton of credit. Nobody at the end of the year is going to draw pictures about this one, but it's a W. And we've got to learn from it. I want to give Nebraska a ton of credit because they played great, and they really slowed their tempo down tonight. They played with much better pace and flow, and yet I thought our defense the second half was very good. But when our team doesn't pursue the ball, which we didn't pursue it tonight, we got out rebounded. When we're not pursuing the ball, we're not at our best, and that was the case tonight.
All right, Robert Rosenthal, go ahead, and then follow up with Andy Olson. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Coach, Iowa scores 15 in a row, the last 10 in regulation, the first 5 in overtime. Tell me about your superstar.
Yeah, it was his time. And what is really unique is he had not played great, and he'd missed some opportunities that he normally doesn't. He'd missed some free throws. And yet, you dance with the one you who got you there, and that's what we did. And he made big shots. He made a nice pass to Kofi, and I'm just glad that number 11 was on our team tonight.
You only got scoring from 5 players, so Io, Kofi, Trent, Adam Miller, and Hawkins were the only 5 players to score. Does that concern you when you have a game like that?
No, because tonight was all about the defensive side. I was going to ride those guys as hard as I could ride them. I was really comfortable with that group defensively. We'll spread those minutes out. I knew we weren't sharp, and that was the group that I was going to ride with. And Coleman played great. But again, it was kind of an out of character night from that standpoint. But that won't be the norm.
Hey, Andy Olson, you're up, and then Rob McCulley. Go ahead, Andy.
Brad, I know a lot has happened since then, but what did you tell the team in that first time out after going down 9-0?
Well, I told them, they would give us an opportunity to get back in the game, but we had to. I was really concerned because we gave up Jacob Grandison, and I was pretty critical of Jake all week in practice because he gave up back cut layup after back cut layup. And, it was, I told our coaching staff before the game, I said, Jake's going to give up the first basket of the game on a back cut layup. And I told him about it before the game, and he still gave it up. Again, it's one of those things that's he's got to get better at. And he wasn't dialed in and as he needed to be. And they took advantage, and we had to get stops. We had to figure out how to get a couple stops. And then we got really passive on the offensive end. They do a good job defensively. They're I knew they were going to take Kofi away. They made his entries hard, and we didn't do a very good job of taking care of the ball. And we just had to settle down, and we did that, and kind of found a way to make it competitive at the end of the half.
You always call these Big Ten games rock fights. Was this the definition of a rock fight?
Yeah, it was a game that I've been concerned about for a long time when it was set. You know, it's a game that you know, we had been talking about, you know, prior to, we thought we were playing Michigan on the schedule. You're going to get 2 top 5 teams or top 6 teams playing, and then all of a sudden it's not Michigan. It's a team who's really struggling, and all of a sudden this becomes that trap game. And we practiced not very good yesterday, and our shoot around was horrible today. I thought our effort was okay. It was just our mental focus and tenacity. And like I said, when we don't chase balls, you know, that's a pretty good sign to me.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, I'm going to go. Sorry, Rob, just a moment. I'm going to go with Scott and Matt since we skipped them for us. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Brad, you know, Nebraska threw several different guys at Kofi and, you know, just made catches tough for him early. What was maybe key to getting him on track a little bit?
Well, they do a great job of it. And if you look at their stats over the course of the season, you know, I think Minnesota took 36 threes at home. Wisconsin came in here and took 32. And then you look in the league play, I mean, their games have been 7, 8, 9. They've been close games. And it's because their defense, and they force you to make threes. And, you know, we talked a lot about not being able to be, you know, have stretches where we take 5, 6, 7 threes. Once we drove the ball and got a little movement, you know, we were able to get him the ball. But again, they give their defense a lot of credit because they did a nice job with it.
And just, you know, with your defense on that last possession and regulation, you know, Io ends up getting the stop on McGowan's, but it seemed like Fred was pretty upset about just not getting anything there. What was that? Just sort of kind of put a cap on maybe that defensive performance to close out, you know, the second half?
Yeah, it was a great switch, a great late game switch by 2 veteran players, Trent and Io, and just forced them. And they run a little wrap play off the backside of that. Somehow it got blown up. But it was going to be an isolation, and we were able to again to play great defense and kind of thwart that attempt.
Thank you.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up, and then Rob. Go ahead, Matt.
Brad, I guess the question I was going to ask Io was, I mean, when Io's on a heater like that, like how much of a concern is it for you as a coach that, you know, the 4 other guys are just standing around and watching? And is there a counter to, hey, they've got 60 years of coaching experience on that bench. You know, the idea is to not let Io turn the corner and go toward the rim. Like, at what point do you go, hey, we have to figure out what they're going to do if they take that away?
They can have all the years on the bench they want to have. They still got to get their players to stop it. And our guys aren't just out there standing. Our guys are out there, you know, spotted up and spaced up. And we work on those situations literally 4 or 5 times a week. And, you know, you put the ball in playmakers' hands to make plays. And sometimes it's just about going to get one yourself. He got downhill into the rim. You know, we ran one set, you know, 5 straight times. And I mean, he got to the rim, got fouled. You know, I wasn't born last weekend. I'm going to keep running the same play till they guard it. But again, those guys are in positions to space and make shots if need be.
I guess my follow-up, I'll ask you about a player who didn't score tonight again, and DeMonte. I'll give you another opportunity to talk about maybe how he got you a W tonight and the box score might not indicate what he did.
I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal defensive effort. It was his rebounding, his ability. Again, when they have 4 perimeter guys like that on the floor all the time, who his switches, they've got size, they've got matchups. DeMonte guarded everybody from their point guard to their power forward, and that versatility was huge. And his veteran knowledge and experience was a huge factor in that tonight.
All right, go ahead, Rob, and then Alec on deck. Go ahead, Rob.
This will be my only question, Alec. So Georgie got about the same amount of time that Jake did, and of course DeMonte brought you home. Is there anything to read into that, or is it just the matchups? And Coleman got all that time, of course. We talk about.
No, it was very much about what I felt comfortable with defensively. tonight. And again, McGowan's got 20 attempts up tonight. They were running a little high ball screen, and Kofi was doing an elite job of protecting that rim and making them shoot over him. And that was something I felt really comfortable with at that time. So hence Georgie's minutes were down, but and then Coleman was great. Coleman's been really good in practice. So and then I liked his versatility with size, being able to guard their perimeter guys as well.
Okay, go ahead, Alec, and then Joey on deck.
Yeah, Coach, if my math's right, and it might not be, I'm pretty sure Kofi has 25 double-doubles now in 50 career games. Is that something you've ever seen before? And what kind of efficiency does that say?
Well, Derek just told me it's 26. So no, that's being pretty productive, especially I'll tell you what's really impressive about that. It's his first 2 years of college. It's not somebody doing it on the back end of their career when they've been in a weight room. They've seen everything for 2 years. He's doing this as a freshman and sophomore. And again, he imposes his will and his strength and his girth and everything else on people, and that wears you out over the course of time. And pretty impressive.
And then shifting gears a little bit, Adam tied a career high tonight, I think, with 7 rebounds. Second time he's done that this season. What is his rebounding ability like? Because there's nights where he really rebounds well, like he did tonight, and then there's other nights where he's just not as active on the glass.
Yeah, we need that consistency. We need him to rebound. And again, we knew that they took a lot of threes. So, we have a saying, long shots equal long rebounds, and our guards have to go chase that. And again, he was fabulous tonight. And again, I felt very comfortable with him on the defensive end, and he saw the ball go in tonight, and he had 7 rebounds. He's capable of that every night.
All right, Joey, you're up. Jeremy on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, what does it say about your guys' team? And I know it's just 1 in the win column, but what could this mean going forward to kind of save par here in this upstart game that was really just scheduled on Monday?
Well, I mean, you've got to win games. I mean, winners win. Winners win, and losers lose. And early in my career here with some of those teams, Joey, you knew we weren't winning those games. It's nice to have veterans. It's nice to have guys with confidence, and we found a way to win. And that's what winners do. And you've got to win every season. You go back and you look, and there's always a game or 2 or 3 like this, and you don't play your best, and yet really good teams find a way to win. And we did that tonight.
Is there anything about some of these guys, like Io's freshman year, you get number 5 Michigan come in, you play like top ranked team. Is there anything about that they've been on the other end of this and they've kind of seen what it takes to get out of here? Is there anything that translate with that experience?
Well, I'm sure there is. It's not something we talk about a lot, but I mean, they've obviously witnessed, the Michigan States and whoever it's been that, Purdue or first year or 2 that was so great, and, come in and just kind of, maybe not be their best, and all of a sudden they flip that switch. And again, that's what we were able to do, and especially Io.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay, we'll go with Jeremy and then Brandon to wrap it up. So go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, what changes for Io in these last 4 or 5 minutes of games?
It's winning time. He's that guy. He's got the it. It's I don't know how to describe it. He's been in that situation his whole life. He's confident. He's not afraid. Jeremy, I mean, he got good looks throughout the game, and he missed them. Put the game on the line, that sucker nothing but the bottom of the net, and he missed free throws. Put the game on the line, he makes free throws, and it's just the it factor. I mean, he's a mentally very, very tough kid. He's not afraid. And he's just got that ability to flip a switch that says, "Hey, I'm gonna win the game," and go do
it. And what do you have to do as a coach there? Do you just get out of the way, and what do you do to counter that if you're a coach? Because it didn't seem like Nebraska had any counter to that.
Well, it's hard. I mean, he's really good because he's really good with the ball. My biggest challenge, Jeremy, is is figuring out where on the floor to put it. And you know, they wanted to weak him and force him to his left hand all night. And okay, so you put him and he rejected 2 of them. You know, sometimes you don't want to run a screen up there to him. I mean, the last play of the game, we didn't run a screen up to him, but they ran and doubled him anyway. So, you know, it's just he's got an unbelievable ability. He's canny, he's smart, and he's very hard to guard.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, and then this Brandon, you'll be wrap things up tonight. So go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Brad, you guys actually got out rebounded tonight. What do you kind of attribute that to?
Lack of pursuing the ball, lack of effort. That their desire was higher than ours. Like I said, I don't want to say I saw this coming, but I saw this coming. And we were horrible in shoot around today. I really got on them, and we didn't practice great. And again, it's a mental thing with us that it happens sometimes. It's not uncommon it happens to every team in the country. They lose it. You look up, they lose a game they shouldn't, and you're like, wow. Well, it's usually an effort thing. And tonight was an effort thing. And I look solely at our rebounding. When we get out rebounded, it's usually because we're not pursuing the ball very well.
And then was this another chapter for Io and his case for Big Ten Player of the Year?
Just keep writing them. He just keeps writing them. I don't know what the last chapter is going to look like, but the middle chapters are damn hellacious. I know that.
Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Have a safe trip home, and we'll see you back in Champaign. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.